resemble it. Why? Oh, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. It's because Reed Hastings, Jeff Bezos, they may have egos, but they're not big enough to get in the way of acknowledging something's not working. Successful people all over America make mistakes. Own it. Mike McCarthy's a bad hire. It's a bad hire. You whiffed. Move on. I mean, Andy Dalton gets crushed yesterday. Not a single Cowboy player goes over and confronts the guy with the cheap shot, John Bostic. I'm not talking about fistfights here, but you got to protect your quarterback. I mean, in the NFL, it's unspoken. Like, if somebody does this to your quarterback, you got to go after Bostic and confront him. The Cowboys are not a team. They're just 55 guys wearing the same shirt. Nobody's there to confront Bostic, say anything. Only one Cowboy went over to help Andy Dalton. And spare me on this whole, Dallas, it'll take time. It's a new system. Oh, baloney. Carolina's got Matt Rule. He's got a new quarterback. He's a college coach. He'd never been an NFL coach. I watched Carolina yesterday. I've watched Carolina 4 times this year. They're competitive. Ron Rivera's battling cancer. Washington's competitive. I mean, I'm watching Stefanski in Cleveland. 5-2. They're more than competitive. This is the same roster. It's the same offensive system. They kept the coordinator, right? Kellen Moore. They kept him. It's the same roster. It's the same players. So you have got to acknowledge if you're Jerry Jones, and I know it's hard, but go look at how much fun Arizona is to watch. Because the general manager and the owner, and they talked about it last night during the game, just said, hey, we may have made a mistake here. We hired a coordinator, made him a coach. He wasn't ready. And we drafted a college quarterback. He's okay. We'd like to build on him, but oh my gosh, there's this kid on tape at Oklahoma who's way better. You just have to own it. It's okay. Go hire Ryan Day at Ohio State, Urban Meyer, Lincoln Riley. But, Microsoft years ago created a device called Zune. Remember Zune? Most of you don't. It bombed. Okay, Zune was going to replace the iPod, right? You know what Zune is now for Microsoft? Because Bill Gates acknowledged it didn't work. It's a good laugh. It's a write-off. And it doesn't define Microsoft. Because they're like, yeah, we were competing against Apple. And Apple was doing other stuff. And we kind of whiffed on that. Boom, next thing. And that's why Microsoft is back better than ever. Greater earnings than ever. Stock price is up. Although nothing's up today. The point being is it doesn't define them because they moved off it. And Arizona football today is fun and glorious and wild and crazy, and everybody loves it because they owned it. Dallas, own it. Jerry, own it. You whiffed. You hired a guy that was, first of all, he lied to you, said he watched all your games. Second of all, this analytic nonsense, that's not true. Just own it. Otherwise, you're going to be defined by this for half a decade. You're going to be defined by what this is right now. Go back to being fun, progressive, smart. Go to the offensive side of the ball. Go to college like everybody else is doing. Joy with the news.
No.
Turn on the news.
This is the Herdline News.
You sign him, you hope you get a little bit of a financial break over the next 5 or 6 years. This league is all about quarterbacks. 7 games in, Tom Brady has transformed the Buccaneers franchise. Bill Belichick, have you watched New England? Belichick, the smartest football coach ever, has won 43% of the games in his career when he didn't have Tom Brady starting. Pete Carroll fired twice, 14-18 in Seattle pre-Russell Wilson. Mike McCarthy, Favre and Rodgers looked like one thing. Seen Dallas this year? We talk about strategy. You know the difference between Facebook and MySpace? It ain't strategy. It's Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, that's your strategy. Stop talking about strategy. Tom Brady in 7 weeks has changed the franchise. Now you got guys like Gronk is retired. Suddenly Gronk's like, maybe I can play another couple years. Antonio Brown had his choice. I'll go play with Tom. That's the power of Tom, the power of LeBron. It's what legends do. And look at arrogant New England. New England, remember that article a couple years ago? One of the assistants said, we could win with a lot of quarterbacks here. Well, you got Cam, and it ain't working. In this divorce, one has remarried and is flourishing, and New England is living in a van down by the river. Andy Reid went from can't win the big game to the leader of the next dynasty, thanks to Patrick Mahomes. John Harbaugh was going to get run out of Baltimore. Then something called Lamar Jackson happened. I like strategy. I like data. I can be a football nerd. It's about the dude. It's about Brady. Belichick's won 43% of his games. He's as smart as anybody that ever been in this league. And it's when you get a LeBron or you get a Brady, it's not just about their game. I mean, Jameis Winston, big, strong kid, beautiful arm, throws to the wrong team too much, but he's got all sorts of talent. It is about accountability. It's about leadership. It is about holding teammates to a standard that the organization's never had before. Think about this. It was 2 weeks ago. New England goes on the road and is awful against Chicago. 11 penalties. Brady is yelling at everybody. And what do you hear in Tampa? Tom's mean. Back-to-back games. No turnovers, no sacks allowed, 4 penalties in 2 games. That's called accountability. It's not about talent. Jameis had talent. Brady, LeBron hold you accountable. I like Frank Vogel. I like Ty Lue. But LeBron's made those dudes a lot of money and given them a lot of fans. It's not about strategy with LeBron. It's not about strategy with Tom Brady. It's about coming into the room and changing the temperature of it. You hold everybody accountable and your leadership and your efficiency. It is unbelievable to watch Tampa. And by the way, you knew it wasn't going to be easy. There's no preseason. Tom's getting older. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. New system, new coach. But this is not a Bruce Arians story. The Bruce Arians book has been written. No risk it, no biscuit. Throw the ball down the field. Be aggressive, really loose. Tampa still all those things. They got rid of the loose because they got Tom Brady, and he's totally accountable. He holds everybody accountable. Meanwhile, in New England this morning, here's the questions their coach is being asked.
Bill, do you plan on having Cam Newton as your quarterback going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to give Stitt a little experience here.
Yeah. It's not about experience. It's not about strategy. I like Andy Reid. I think Pete Carroll and Belichick first ballot Hall of Famers. But Mike McCarthy, watch the Cowboys today. This is why franchises sign quarterbacks early, even ones with injuries. I mean, are you watching the Chargers and Justin Herbert? They're going to sign him early. Guarantee it. They're going to sign him 2 years early. Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. Kyler Murray in Arizona. Sign him early. Get a discount. So hard to find the right guy, and when you do, and Tampa did, it just took them, 50 years of their franchise to find a quarterback. They changed the temperature of the franchise in 7 games. Tampa this morning is the best team in the NFL. All right, I'm from the Pacific.